This is a quick video for why relationships are so important. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know that this is a smoking jacket. Um, this is something that men used to wear once upon a time. And I'm a huge advocate for traditional things. So if you're a dude, a bloke, and you want something to feel nice walking around the house, get yourself a smoking jacket. You might feel a bit like a wanker, but sometimes that's half the fun. Anyway, relationships. So I just had a call with one of my aunts and uncles who lives down in the States, down in Florida, and haven't spoken to them in a little while. But specifically, my uncle, my uncle and my aunt, they've got two daughters, and my uncle's always been a solid guy. We used to hang out with him, my brother and I. But the point around the relationship is that I showed him something, and it's just one of those things where if you have children, sometimes you have all boys, sometimes you have all girls, sometimes you get a mix. Life always gives you some interesting lessons, is firmly my belief. But I showed him my Porsche 718 GTS, and he was very impressed. Back in the day, in the 60s, he was a muscle car guy. And it was one of those moments where I was like, yeah, not the son he had, but certainly when we get together, it's always nice. When we were last in America, this guy on his own, without any prompting or either, I don't even know how he found out, but he made my wife and I and our kids Anzac biscuits. Those are the very traditional Aussie biscuits that we have here, made with rolled oats. But he did it, right? Because he's just a solid dude. So we had a nice conversation. It's around the holidays and relationships. And it reminded me, a couple of years back, my mother had an aneurysm, very terribly, unfortunately, and my wife, she went over there. It was easier for me to work and manage the kids than it was for me to go over there and try to work from there. But I digress. My wife wound up staying with one of my great aunties. This lady, I used to fix her VCR back in the day, but my wife wound up at night, she'd have dinner with my auntie, and my aunt has no kids. And they formed a very close friendship in that 3-week period. And the reason that relationships are important is because as you're pouring into yourself, into others, they're receiving and they're pouring something back at you, back into you. And you never know what you're going to get. So it's easy to say, fuck the world and cut everything off. But I never feel like that's the right way. So if you've got some good relationships with folks in your family or in your community, nurture them. Good luck.